You're sitting there, phone in hand, waiting for her response. It's been 3 hours since you sent that message. You check again. Still nothing. Your mind races with possibilities. Maybe she's busy. Maybe she didn't see it. Or maybe, just maybe, she's playing a game you don't even know the rules to. Here's the brutal truth you need to hear. While you're waiting for her validation, she's already categorized you as low value. Every minute you spend hoping for her attention is another minute you bleed power in the relationship dynamic. You've become predictable, available, disposable. But what if I told you that the most powerful thing you could do right now is exactly what terrifies you the most? What if the secret to becoming irresistible isn't in moving closer, but in walking away? What if Machiavelli himself had decoded the dark psychology of attraction centuries ago, and you've been playing the game completely backwards? Today, you're going to discover why walking away doesn't decrease your value. It multiplies it exponentially. You'll understand the primal psychological triggers that make absence more powerful than presence, and exactly how to weaponize strategic withdrawal to flip the entire power dynamic in any relationship. You've been taught that persistence wins. You've been told that showing consistent interest demonstrates value. You've been lied to. In the psychological battlefield of modern relationships, the one who can walk away holds all the cards, and after today, that person will be you. The game changes now. You're about to learn why every step away from her is actually a step toward total emotional control. Because in the realm of human psychology, scarcity doesn't just create value, it creates obsession. Women don't chase men who are always there, they chase men who might never come back. Think about that for a moment. When was the last time you desperately wanted something that was freely available? Never. Human psychology is wired to value what's scarce, what's difficult to obtain, what might slip through our fingers at any moment. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. This is about understanding fundamental human nature and using it to your advantage. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago when he wrote about power dynamics. He knew that the person who needs the relationship less controls the relationship completely. Right now, you're operating from a position of need. Every text you send, every call you make, every attempt to win her over broadcasts one message loud and clear. I need your validation. I need your attention. I need you to like me. And in her subconscious mind, need equals weakness. Weakness equals low value. Low value equals rejection. But when you walk away, everything changes. Suddenly, you're not the pursuer anymore. You're not the one seeking validation. You're not the one whose emotional state depends on her responses. You become the prize, you become the challenge, you become valuable. Walking away triggers something primal in the female psyche. Throughout human evolution, women have been programmed to seek men who display high social value. In prehistoric times, the man who could walk away was the man with options. The man with options was the man with resources, status, and superior genetics. This programming hasn't changed. It's still running in the background of every interaction you have. When you demonstrate the ability to walk away, her primitive brain interprets this as massive social proof. You must have other options. You must have higher value opportunities. You must be worth pursuing. This isn't conscious. She doesn't sit there thinking, oh, he walked away, so he must be high value. It happens at a subconscious level that she can't control or resist. But there's a deeper psychological mechanism at play here. Women have an innate need to feel chosen. When you're always available, always eager, always pursuing, she doesn't feel special. She feels like the default option, like you have nothing better to do, like she's your only choice. When you walk away, you flip this entire dynamic. Suddenly, she has to earn your attention. She has to prove she's worth your time. She has to invest emotionally to bring you back. And here's the key. The more someone invests in something, the more they value it. By walking away, you're forcing her to invest, which automatically increases your value in her eyes. Let me paint you a picture of how this works in real life. You've been dating someone for a few weeks. Things seem to be going well, but you notice she's becoming distant. She takes longer to respond to texts. She's less enthusiastic about making plans. She's testing your emotional strength, whether she realizes it or not. The average man doubles down. He texts more frequently. He tries harder to impress. He asks what's wrong. He seeks reassurance. Every one of these actions decreases his value and confirms her suspicions that he's emotionally weak. The Machiavellian man. He recognizes the test and responds with strategic withdrawal. He stops initiating contact. He becomes genuinely busy with his own life. He posts on social media showing him living his best life, surrounded by friends, pursuing his passions. He doesn't mention her, he doesn't seek her attention, he simply walks away. What happens next is predictable. First comes confusion. She expected you to chase harder. When you don't, her mental model breaks. She starts wondering what changed. Did you lose interest? Did you find someone else? Are you really as high value as you're demonstrating? Then comes the pursuit. She starts texting you, first casually, then more frequently. She suggests meeting up. She becomes more affectionate, more invested, more available. The power dynamic has completely reversed, and you didn't have to do anything except value yourself enough to walk away. But here's where most men fail. They get a taste of this power and immediately surrender it. She shows interest, and they revert to their old patterns. They become available again. They start chasing again. They lose everything they gained. The true Machiavellian understanding is that walking away isn't a one-time tactic. It's a mindset. It's a way of being. You must always be willing to walk away, not as a manipulation, but as a genuine expression of self-respect and abundance. This principle extends beyond romantic relationships. In business negotiations, the person willing to walk away from the deal usually gets the better terms. In friendships, the person who doesn't desperately need the relationship is usually more respected. In any power dynamic, the person with the least attachment to the outcome holds the most power. You might be thinking, but what if she doesn't chase? What if I walk away and she just lets me go? Good. If someone isn't willing to invest in keeping you, they've revealed their true valuation of you. Walking away isn't about manipulating people into wanting you. It's about filtering for people who genuinely value what you bring to the table. The fear of loss is one of the most powerful motivators in human psychology. When you're always present, always available, there's no fear of loss. She knows you'll be there tomorrow, next week, next month. She can take you for granted because you've shown her through your actions that you're not going anywhere. When you walk away, you introduce uncertainty. You create the possibility of permanent loss, and suddenly, her psychology shifts from evaluation mode to retention mode. She stops asking, "Is he good enough for me?" and starts asking, "How do I keep him?" This shift is everything. It's the difference between being auditioned and being pursued. It's the difference between hoping for approval and assuming value. It's the difference between scarcity and abundance mindset. But let me be clear about something crucial. Walking away only works if it comes from a place of genuine self-respect and options. If you walk away as a manipulation tactic, while secretly hoping she'll chase, she'll sense the incongruence. Women have evolved incredibly sensitive manipulation detectors. They can smell desperation even when it's disguised as indifference. True walking away means you're genuinely prepared to never look back. It means your life is so full, so engaging, so valuable that losing any one person won't devastate you. It means you have options, not just with other women, but with how you spend your time, energy, and attention. This is why working on yourself isn't just self-help fluff. It's strategic positioning. Every hour you spend in the gym increases your ability to walk away. Every skill you develop, every passion you pursue, every friendship you cultivate, they all contribute to your walk-away power. When you have a life you love, walking away isn't painful. It's natural. You're not walking away from her into emptiness. You're walking away into a life that's already fulfilling. This authentic abundance is what makes the strategy so powerful. Let's talk about timing. When should you walk away? The answer might surprise you. The best time to walk away is when things are going well. Most men wait until they're disrespected, until they're clearly being used, until the relationship is obviously failing. By then, walking away isn't powerful, it's expected. The Machiavellian approach is to walk away at the peak, when she's interested, when she's investing, when she expects you to escalate your commitment. This is when walking away has maximum impact. It communicates that no matter how good things are, You're not dependent on the relationship for your happiness. Imagine you've just had an amazing date. The chemistry was perfect. She's clearly interested, maybe even hinting at wanting to see you again soon. The average man would immediately try to lock down the next date. He'd text her when he gets home. He'd express how much fun he had. The Machiavellian man, he ends the date at its peak. He doesn't linger trying to extend the moment. He doesn't immediately plan the next meeting. He simply says he had a good time and leaves. Then, silence. No follow-up text. No immediate planning. Just absence. This creates what psychologists call an open loop in her mind. The amazing experience is left unresolved. She expected continuation, but got space instead. Her mind will work overtime trying to close this loop, thinking about you far more than if you had provided the expected follow-up. Days later, when you do reach out, it's casual. It's from a place of wanting to see her, not needing to see her. The entire frame of the interaction has shifted. You're choosing to include her in your life, not desperately trying to be included in hers. This principle applies to attention as well. In our modern world, attention is currency. Everyone is competing for it. When you freely give your attention, through constant texting, social media interaction, always being available, you devalue your own currency. Walking away means being strategic with your attention. It means not always being the first to view her stories. It means not always being available for last-minute plans. It means having boundaries around your time and energy that you enforce regardless of who's asking. These boundaries communicate value more effectively than any words could. When she realizes your attention must be earned, not expected, your perceived value skyrockets. You become the scarce resource in a world of abundant options. But here's the paradox that makes this so powerful. The more willing you are to walk away, the less likely you'll need to. When someone senses that you could leave at any moment, they naturally invest more in keeping you. They put in effort. They show appreciation. They avoid taking you for granted. This creates a positive feedback loop. Your willingness to walk away improves how you're treated, which reinforces your value, which makes walking away even easier. You ascend from scarcity to abundance, from pursuer to pursued, from low value to high value. The female mind processes emotional dynamics through a completely different lens than the male mind. While men often think in terms of linear progression, more effort equals better results. Women respond to emotional dynamics, power balances, and social hierarchies. When you walk away, you're speaking directly to these psychological triggers. You're demonstrating emotional control, social value, and personal power in a language her subconscious understands perfectly. Consider how women test men constantly, usually without even realizing it. These tests aren't malicious. They're evolutionary mechanisms designed to assess male value. Can he maintain frame under pressure? Does he have other options? Is he emotionally stable? Will he crumble at the first sign of conflict? Walking away passes all these tests simultaneously. It shows you can maintain frame because you're not reacting emotionally to her withdrawal. It demonstrates other options because only men with alternatives can afford to walk away. It displays emotional stability because you're not desperately trying to fix things. It proves you won't crumble because you're literally choosing to leave rather than compromise your standards. This is why walking away often triggers such a dramatic response. In one action, you've demonstrated more value than months of pursuit ever could. You've shown yourself to be the kind of man her evolutionary programming seeks: strong, valuable, and unattainable. The silence that follows walking away is your greatest ally. In that silence, her imagination runs wild. She constructs narratives about where you are, what you're doing, who you're with. The less information you provide, the more her mind fills in the gaps, usually with scenarios that increase your value. This is vastly different from the over-communication most men engage in. They feel compelled to explain their actions, justify their decisions, seek approval for their choices. Every explanation diminishes mystery. Every justification reveals need. Every approval-seeking behavior confirms low value. When you walk away and maintain silence, you become a puzzle she needs to solve. Human beings are naturally drawn to mysteries. We can't help but think about unresolved questions. By becoming that question mark in her life, you occupy far more mental real estate than you ever could through constant presence. But let's address the elephant in the room. What about genuine connection? What about building something real? Doesn't walking away prevent deep relationships? This is where nuance becomes crucial. Walking away isn't about preventing connection. It's about ensuring any connection that forms is based on mutual investment and genuine desire. When someone pursues you after you've walked away, they're choosing you from a place of want, not need. They're investing because they value you, not because you've worn them down with persistence. The relationships that form from this dynamic are actually stronger because they're based on genuine attraction rather than convenience or pity. The Machiavellian insight is that power dynamics exist in every relationship. Pretending they don't doesn't make them disappear. It just ensures you'll be on the losing side of them. By understanding and strategically managing these dynamics, you create the conditions for healthier, more balanced relationships. Walking away also serves as a powerful filtering mechanism. It automatically screens out people who aren't genuinely interested. If someone lets you walk away without any effort to reconnect, they've saved you months or years of investing in a one-sided dynamic. This isn't rejection. It's valuable information. The men who struggle with walking away usually share common characteristics. They derive their self-worth from female validation. They believe they have limited options. They fear being alone more than they fear being disrespected. They prioritize short-term comfort over long-term value. Breaking free from these patterns requires fundamental mindset shifts. You must learn to generate self-worth internally, rather than seeking it externally. You must create genuine options in your life, not just with women, but with how you spend your time. You must become comfortable with solitude, seeing it as freedom rather than loneliness. You must prioritize respect over comfort, standards over companionship. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistent practice and genuine self-development. But every time you successfully walk away, you build evidence that you can survive without any particular person. This evidence accumulates into unshakable confidence. The peak moment arrives when she realizes the power dynamic has completely shifted. Where once she held all the cards, making you wait, keeping you guessing, controlling the pace, now you've flipped the entire game. Her messages become longer, more invested. She initiates conversations. She suggests meeting. She becomes available when before she was elusive. This is the moment of maximum power and also maximum danger. Many men, upon seeing this shift, immediately revert to their old patterns. They become available again. They start pursuing again. They surrender all the ground they've gained. This is like winning a chess match and then immediately setting up the board to play again from a losing position. The Machiavellian approach maintains the new dynamic. You respond to her increased investment with measured reciprocation, never fully matching her energy. You remain willing to walk away again at any moment. You understand that the power to leave is what created the attraction, and surrendering that power would destroy it. This might sound calculating, even cold, but consider the alternative. In relationships where one person can't walk away, dysfunction inevitably follows. Disrespect creeps in. Boundaries get violated. The person who can't leave becomes a prisoner, and the person who knows they won't leave becomes a warden. By maintaining your ability to walk away, you ensure mutual investment. Both parties must continually choose the relationship. Both must provide value. Both must respect boundaries. This creates a dynamic of mutual growth rather than complacency and decay. The ultimate Machiavellian truth about walking away is this: it's not really about her at all, it's about you. It's about becoming the kind of man who values himself enough to enforce standards. It's about building a life so engaging that no one person's absence can diminish it. It's about developing the emotional strength to choose solitude over disrespect. When you embody these qualities, walking away becomes effortless. You're not playing games or running strategies. You're simply being a man who knows his worth and refuses to accept less than he deserves. This authenticity is what makes the strategy so powerful. You're not pretending to be high value. You're demonstrating it through actions. Now you understand why every relationship you've pursued desperately has failed. You see why being nice guys and available isn't attractive. It's repellent. You recognize that in the economy of human relationships, scarcity creates value while abundance creates indifference. The question now is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you continue playing the game by rules that guarantee you'll lose? Will you keep chasing, pursuing, and hoping for different results? Or will you finally embrace the power of walking away? The men who master this principle don't just transform their romantic relationships. They transform their entire reality. They stop being victims of other people's choices and start being architects of their own value. They stop hoping for respect and start commanding it. They stop fearing loss and start embracing the freedom it represents. This isn't about becoming heartless or manipulative. It's about becoming valuable. It's about recognizing that your time, attention, and presence are gifts that must be earned, not rights that can be assumed. It's about building a life so full that walking away isn't painful. It's natural. Remember, she's not responding to your devotion. She's responding to your value. And value isn't demonstrated through words or promises or constant presence. Value is demonstrated through the courage to walk away and the strength to mean it. The game has changed. The rules are now clear. The man who can walk away holds all the power. The question is, are you ready to claim it? Tell me, have you experienced the power shift that comes from walking away? Have you felt the magnetic pull of someone who suddenly became scarce? Or have you been on the other side, desperately pursuing someone who had the strength to leave? Drop your experiences in the comments below. Like this video if it opened your eyes to dynamics you've been blind to. Subscribe to this channel because I'm revealing psychological truths that modern society doesn't want you to understand. And don't miss our previous videos on dark psychology and power dynamics. Your journey from pursuer to pursued starts with a single step away, a step towards self-respect, a step into your power. The path is clear. The only question is whether you have the courage to take it. Stay strong. Stay valuable. And always remember, the one who can walk away is the one who controls the game. Master this truth, and you master your relationships. Master your relationships, and you master your life. In Machiavelli's words, adapted for modern times. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Let them see a man who can walk away. Let them experience what it means to pursue someone truly valuable. Let them learn that your presence is a privilege, not a given. The power is now yours. Use it wisely, use it strategically, but most importantly, use it